One day, when Tukaram came home, his wife Jija was performing puja. Lakshmi puja she was performing. By looking at her, Tukaram asked her that what was she doing. Then she replied him that she was performing Lakshmi puja. Again Tukaram asked her that what was the occasion that she was performing Lakshmi puja. Then she told him that some astrologer had told her that if she would perform Lakshmi puja, she would get wealth in her life. Then Tukaram astonished and told her that whatever the wealth we need in our life, that Vittal had given and he is giving and he will give us. And you need not to perform any puja for gaining the wealth. Then Jija replied him that you are praying for Vittal and I am praying for Lakshmi. What is wrong in it? Why do you say that I should not perform Lakshmi puja in this regard? Then Tukaram told her that you are doing Kamartya puja, which means you are performing Lakshmi puja and you are expecting something in return. We should not perform puja in this way. Our puja must be very pure. There should be no demand behind it. But you have been performing Lakshmi puja having desires to be fulfilled. This should not be done. But Tukaram's wife Jija did not listen to him and she continued performing Lakshmi puja. After a few weeks, she got a lot of money in her hand. With the help of that money, she went and bought clothes for herself and for her kids. And she got back the jewels that she mortgaged. And she decorated her home in a grand manner. She prepared a great dishes for herself, for her kids and Tukaram. And that day in the evening, when Tukaram came back to his home, he saw many changes in his home and he asked his wife that what happened. Then she happily told him that she had reaped the benefits of doing Lakshmi puja. And she went into the kitchen to bring some food for him. But Tukaram, hearing this, he went out without even having food. Then Jija thought that he might have gone outside. He might be very angry over me. No issue. He will come in the night. This is what she thought. She waited for him, but he did not return back. Next day also he did not return back. Third day he did not return back. This continued for a week, but he never came back. And Jija knew that he would go to Pandharpur without informing her very often. And now she thought that he might have gone there. She waited for a number of weeks, but he did not return back. But she kept on waiting for him, but he did not return back. But already 1 month is over, anticipating his way, but he did not return back. And by thinking that if she would go to Pandharpur, she would catch him. So she decided to go to Pandharpur. And Pandharpur is nearly 300 kilometers from the place where she is now. She started her journey towards Pandharpur. She went to Pandharpur and she started searching for him every corner of Pandharpur. But she did not find him anywhere. She became too worried. She became too worried. And she kept on asking other sadhus in Pandharpur if they had seen him. But reply was no. Again she became too much worried. But really she didn't come to know what to do. That day, she went inside the temple of Vittal. She prayed to Vittal and she spent a night in the temple. Then, next day morning, she came back to her village desperately. Then, that day night, Vittal came in her dream and told her that he is in her village only. Then he also showed her that the hill where he was sitting and singing bhajanas. And in the dream, he also told her that he has not been having his food till the time when he left. Then, next day morning, Jija woke up and she started climbing up the hill in the direction of Vittal gave her in the last day night. She went up the hill and she found her husband. He was sitting and he was singing kirtanas. She found him seated on the stone, and also she found that he was very weak with the beard grown over his face. But his voice had the same energy and he was singing loudly the songs of praise of God. Then she folded her hands and stood in front of him with the tears in her eyes. When Tukaram finished his kirtana, he saw that Jija was in front of him and he asked her why had she come there. He also told her that he wanted to be isolated from this material world and he wanted to be singing the songs of Vittal. Then Jija replied him that if you keep on praying for Vittal here itself by sitting, how would we and our children live? Then Tukaram told her that you are doing Lakshmi Puja and you are gaining wealth from her. To run the family, money is more than enough and you don't need me anymore. Why do I need for you? This is what Tukaram told her. Then Jija burst into tears and told him that Tukaram is very important than the jewels and the money. We don't want any of them, but we need you. This is what Jija told her husband. Then immediately Tukaram told his wife Jija that then now only you take leave from here and distribute all the wealth, money, jewels, whatever you have to the poor and come back as early as possible. I will come behind you then only. Then Jija, without thinking any more, she went to home and she did the same. She took all the money and jewels whatever she had in her home and distributed them to all the poor people in her village. Then she ran back to him and told him that she had distributed all of them to the poor people in the village. Then Tukaram sang some kirtanas to advise her. Then he went back with her to the home. This story reveals that we should not perform the puja to accomplish our desires in the life, but instead of that we should pray to God to make God our companion. If you make the God your companion, there is no wealth which is equal to that. Thank you.